Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Shelly here and welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see from the thumbnail and the title, I'm going to be doing a story time today. And the title of the story time is when I was the side chick. Me, good girl Shelly. What? This a pretty girl, yeah. This girl was a side chick. What? Anyways, if you guys are interested in hearing my story time about when I was the side chick, then please keep on watching. Alright guys, so I think I was 16 years old. I think going on 17 when this happened. So I probably was about 16 and a half, going on 17 or whatever when this happened. Anyways, I was in my last year, I believe, of high school in Jamaica. There was this guy, like, when I say dark-skinned, chocolate, good-looking guy that lived across the street from me. But he lived across the street, but literally probably like 4 houses down. So he wasn't directly across the street from me. He was like a couple of houses down. And oh my God, like, when I tell you I thought I was in love, honey child, I thought I was in love. Like, you know, when you 16, girl, when you 16, you know what's up. Like, you think you know it all, you could do it all, like everything, you could conquer the world. Like, you know, when you 16, you think you the ish. Okay, my mother could not stand this guy. Like, my mom could not stand this guy, and that's because of because he was a lot older than I was. He was about 20. I think he was 19 or 20, maybe 21, but he didn't pass 21, but he was up there. Like, he had already graduated from high school. I don't know if he went to college. He must have went to college and finished college. I don't think he went to college, but I know he was some good years older than me, like probably like 4 years older than me. My mother couldn't stand this guy because that was the main reason. He was not in my age group. Like, he was way much older. So anyways, mom was a single mom raising 4 girls by herself. So my mom worked from in the morning. She worked from like 8 till 8. Like, my mom would get home at like 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. So my mom got home late. So, you know, once I come home from school, I have literally all day to do whatever I wanted. Like, me and my sisters, like, it's crazy. So me and my sisters wasn't bad. But, you know, you 16 now, you think you could have a boyfriend or whatever. Anyways, we was talking, we was dating, and I was going to school, he was working, so I would see him, like, he would come from work, like, around 6 o'clock, so he would come home a little bit before my mom, so he would always come, and we'd be hanging out outside, like, nothing crazy, we'd be always hanging out outside, and my mom would always come home and see me with him, and she would always tell me, like, me know why you talk to that boy there, me not like that boy there, me know why you talk to him or whatever. You know, you in love, you ain't listen to your mother, you ain't listen to your parents, you think you know it all. So I hope my mom is not watching this video because she gonna kick my ass. Okay, he lived right across the street, and me and my best friend at the time, her name is Raquel, we would go to his house and we would be hanging out over his house all the time. My best friend, like, she had her house, and her mom didn't live with her. Her mom lived in the States, so we would always be hanging out at my best friend's house. So, like, that's how we got time to spend time together in the evening. So on, like, the weekends and stuff, my mom also worked on Saturdays, so we would always be together on Saturdays, like, hanging out or whatever. Then I started going to his house, and he was my first. Like, he was my first. Like, it was crazy. You know, when somebody's your first, you think they're the love of your life, you think they're the best thing ever on earth, you think there's nobody that's gonna replace you because he popped that cherry. Like, it was crazy. So I was at his house one Saturday, and this girl was calling him from outside, and he answered her. And then something happened. So before I get into what happened, he had an ex-girlfriend that I know about, and I seen the girl maybe like once or twice because of like passing. She probably lived like 15 minutes walking distance from where we live. She didn't live that close to us. She lived farther. He said that they were broken up. Mind you, when my mom come home at 8 o'clock at night, I can't be hanging out with this boy. We didn't have cell phones back then to where we could call each other all the time. I didn't have no social media like 14 years ago. So it was no social media. I didn't have no MySpace, WhatsApps, Facebook, Instagram, like none of that I didn't have. Like, none of that I didn't have. Now in Jamaica, all these kids have that, but back then None of that. I didn't have that. So I knew about his ex, but it was his ex. And in the nighttime, I was never with this guy. So I don't know what he's doing. And then, you know, like, I can't sleep over or anything like that. Like, my mom would never allow that. I was at his house one Saturday, and I don't know how long after we started dating this happened. I don't remember if it was 2 months, 4 months. I don't know, because it was a long time ago. So I was at his house one Saturday, and we were sitting there, like, I don't know if we were watching TV or what we were doing, but this girl came outside and she was calling him. So I'm like, okay, that's weird, but whatever. So I'm sitting there, you know, I'm like so naive at 16. I don't know what's going on. So he had a 3-bedroom house at the time. His house was really big, and he lived alone because his mom was living abroad. He took me to the back bedroom in the house, and he's like, sit here on the bed and don't say anything, just sit here. So in my head, I'm like, what? You want me to sit there? For how long? He's like, don't worry, you're not going to be there for long. Just sit there. I'll be right back. And he locked the door. So I'm like, that's weird. That's odd. But I was sitting there. So what I thought was going to be like a 5-minute, maybe 10 minutes of me sitting there on his bed, like in the back bedroom, turned out to be like an hour. Girl, I was at this boy's house sitting in that back bedroom for an hour. So I hear him like talking and laughing with this girl, and they're like talking and laughing all day, and I'm like, that's mad. Like, how long you expect me to sit there? Like, I'm mad confused. So I got so mad, like I got so upset. I got up, opened the door, and literally walked past both of them. Like, walked out like a little rat. Yep, I surely got up and walked past both of them. So when I saw her, when I was walking past, I was like, damn. In my head, I was like, really? Really? Like, seriously, homie? Like, for real? Like, this is what we're doing? Anyways, I didn't say nothing to him. I didn't say nothing to her. I just walked out because at the end of the day, I'm too good to be fine with no chick. Like, mind you, I was this big when I was 16. I was so small, it's ridiculous. And mind you, I'm 16. Both of them are in their 20s. And this girl is like tall and trapped in, like big, like giant. Like, she was big. And I'm like, I'm not gonna be fine with this girl. She gonna drag my ass across this house. I got up, didn't say nothing to none of them, just walk out of the house like nothing. I just walk out. So I walked out and I went home, and I think I went to my best friend's house. I don't remember what I did, but I was talking to her and I was like, what the hell is that about? And she was like, oh, it's probably nothing. She probably just came to see him. But in my head, I'm like, why would he put me in the room to sit down? If I'm his girlfriend now and she's his ex, then he should be like, I'm busy right now. Like, my girlfriend is here. Like, you gotta come back or whatever. Like, first of all, why are you coming to see the boy and coming inside his house and sitting down? I'm confused. I'm mad confused. Like, what? I walked past them, that day passed, and he came back and saw me. And I don't know what bullshit excuse he gave me. I don't know what he told me, but my naive self, I'm not thinking about nothing. I'm like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. And he probably told me that she came to visit him or whatever the case is, like nothing was going on. So in my head, I'm like, okay, like, I'm stupid at that time, like not even thinking about nothing. So months go by and he had a death in his family, and I'm not gonna get into that because that's that person's personal information, like personal business. So I'm not gonna get into that, but he had a death in his family and he had lived alone at the time. So let's say we lived in Brooklyn, his dad lived in the Bronx. Like, his dad lived in the Bronx, and he had a lot of other siblings that also lived in the Bronx. So I was living in Jamaica at the time. I'm Jamaican. I was born and raised in Jamaica for 18 years. So I'm just using Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn as an example. So say we lived in Brooklyn and his dad lived in the Bronx. So he's told me that, you know, he doesn't feel like he wants to be alone at the moment. So he's gonna go and spend some time with his father. So I'm like, okay, no problem, that's fine. And the only time when I get to go see this guy is like, I would have to go see him on my way from school. I would have to break my neck to go see him after school before I could go home. And if my mom is ever seeing this video, she is gonna kick my ass. But like, I will go see him before I go home. And I got home so late one night, my mom was like, where are you? I had to make up some excuse as to where I was. So I don't even know what I told my mom at that time. But you know, you 16, you sneaking around, you doing what you doing. Like, she ain't gonna find out. Like, you gonna make something up. I'm not proud of those days, you guys. Like, if you're 16 and watching this video, it's not worth it. Like, I'm telling you, it's not worth it. All right, so fast forward now. I'm going to see this guy, and I forgot about what he did with his ex. Just literally hide me in the back room and not say nothing to me. Like, just left me there. Even when I was leaving, he didn't even say, where you going? Nothing. Like, he just let me walk past, and him and the girl is sitting there looking at me like I'm stupid. So anyways, he's living at his dad's house now, and I have to go see this guy, you know, like sometimes when I get off from school. And mind you, in Jamaica, you don't just, they don't give you like Metro cards if you're going to school or whatever. Like, every bus you go on, you better have your money for pay your fare. Because you gotta pay, honey. You gotta pay cash on any bus. So I would have to save my lunch money to go see this guy. And he was working, and he would never give me money. And he was working. Like, he had a job, a good paying job, and he wasn't paying bills, and he still wouldn't give me money. But, you know, I thought it was love. So I used to go see this guy all the time. And they have this thing in my country called susu, or we call it partner, where say there's 20 people and they want to save some money. So for 20 weeks, each week one person would take everybody's money if you decide to put 50 or whatever the case is. I used to like save my lunch money, and I would put it into a susu because I wanted to get my own cell phone. I never had a cell phone, and I would always have to like borrow my friend's cell phone to call him, or I would always have to find some means and ways to use my best friend's phone to call him, because he had went to go literally live with his dad, and I could never see him, and he couldn't call me because I didn't have a phone. So I saved my money and got me a cell phone. And at the time, it was the Nokia phones that just came out, the 3310 and the 3410, like the peanut phone from Motorola. Like, back in the days, those are like the first phones that was coming out. So like the Razor phone, like all those phones was coming out. So I saved my money, and I had bought a brand new 3410, brand new. And when I tell you that I had the phone, maybe I had it for a week. I didn't even think I had it for a week, because one day I was going to see him and my battery died. My phone was dead when I went to go see him, and I took my phone out of my pocket and sat it on top of his dresser. So I sat it on top of his dresser, and on my way home, I was like, I don't have my phone. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna tell my mom? Like, what am I gonna do? She's gonna be like, how you lose your phone yesterday but you find your phone today? I'm like, maybe I should tell her that my friend had the phone. But I'm like, I'm just gonna tell her that I don't know what I did with the phone for now, because I'm like, I trust that I'm gonna get my phone back from my boyfriend, but I don't know if I'm gonna ever get the phone back. So like, I told my mom that I lost the phone. Anyway, I called him the next day when I went to school from my best friend's phone, and I was like, where is my phone? Like, do you have my phone? I want to come get my phone. He's gonna tell me the phone that I saved so hard for and bought, that him and his sister got into an argument, and he threw the phone at her, and it went in the wall, and it shelled out. What? That phone was over $3,000. That phone was like $4 grand. Back then in the days in Jamaica, like, that phone was $40. And $40 is not like, imagine you getting $5 right now every day to go to school. How long it would take you to save $40 just to buy a cell phone. He said he got into an argument with his sister. He took the phone, the brand new phone, out of all the things that he could have thrown at his sister. He took my brand new phone and threw it at his sister, and it smashed into the wall. That's the excuse he gave me. And I don't know why I didn't left that day. Like, I was so upset. I was so hurt. I felt so betrayed. And then I felt like he was lying to me, because he's a liar. Like, I feel like he was lying to me. But anyways, my dumb nut, my dumb self was in love, and that's all that mattered. The phone gone, the phone done gone already, everything gone a long time, and I'm still talking to this guy, so every time I wanted to go see him, he would always make up an excuse. Oh, he's not gonna be there that day, he's gonna be at work, or he has something to do. Or I even try to start going to see this guy on the weekend, tell my mom that I'm gonna go hang out with my best friend and I'm going to go see this guy on the weekend. Like, I would try to go see this guy all the time because I'm in love. He never wanted to see me, he never wanted to hang out with me, so feelings started to die down or whatever. But he was still my boyfriend. I wasn't seeing anyone else. Like, he was still everything to me. Fast forward, I don't know if it was a few weeks later, a few months later, I don't know what it was, but there's this thing in my country called champs, where all the schools get together at like the big stadium and they're competing against like track and field, all different kind of stuff. So it was a weekend of champs, and me and my friend said we're gonna go to champs or whatever. So we bought our tickets. My mom said I could go with my best friend, and me and my best friend said we're gonna go to champs or whatever. So we got dressed, go to champs one night, and we at champs hanging out. You know, we went to the thing, we watched the races, and then I think we was leaving. We were either leaving the night champs was done. We were either leaving or we was going to get food. If I'm not mistaken, I think we were leaving, and I saw this nigga in the parking lot. And guess what? He was hands and glove with another girl. He couldn't find time to see me. I could not go to champs and go spend the day with him. We could have went to champs together, and he didn't want to go to champs with me. I saw him with another girl. What? Really tall, really slim. Like, I saw him with another girl. I was like, wow. I was like, hi. He was like, wagwan, you alright? I was like, yeah, I'm okay. That was it. Him walk off with him woman and gone. What? That's what we doing? After that day, I was with my friends, and I remember feeling so heartbroken. I feel like something ripped my heart out of my chest. Like, ripped it out. I was so heartbroken, and that was the night that I decided, I'm done. Wipe my hand, wash my hand, everything, I'm done. I was like, I am done with this guy. Like, done with this guy. I'm over here killing myself to see you, but you're out with somebody else. You're hurt because you had a death in your family, but I'm not important, so it's somebody else is important, right? Somebody else is important. Anyways, I was done with him that day, and I never called him again, never text him again. And then one day, out of the blue, the boy show up on my gate calling me, Shelly! Shelly! I know his voice. So I was like, what do you want? Through my window. I was like, for what? What do you want? He's like, come outside, I want to talk to you. Come on, talk to you. So in my head, I'm like, talk to me for what though? I'm confused. I go outside because my sisters was there and the whole neighborhood could hear what's going on. So I go outside and I'm like, what do you want? Why are you here? He's like, you my girlfriend. Why wouldn't I be here? I said, girlfriend? Oofa girlfriend. Could never be for your girlfriend. No, my dear. No, my child. No, my love. You got the wrong one. I said, me, you done long time. He goes, just like that? I said, yeah, we been done. It's nothing left. We been done. Nothing not left. Nothing. He's like, oh, that's how it is? I was like, yep, that's how it is. It's done. And I went back in my house. Washed my hands. I was done. Like, I was so heartbroken. It was crazy. So it's crazy because when you're 16 and you're young, and I have a niece now that's 16 and it's just like, she's 15 I think, and it's just like, it's crazy because when I was 15 I remember the stuff that I used to do, and now it's like I'm watching my nieces grow up, and it's like I'm so hard on them, but at the same time, I knew what it was like when I was 15. Like, I was chasing everything, you know? And it's like, that's why it's so important to love your kids and just let them know how important it is to value themselves. And my mom was always about that. Like, my mom was always about teaching my sisters and I, like, you know, like, you don't need to be having sex at this age. You will get pregnant and you don't want a baby right now. Like, you need to value yourself. You're not going to be with that knucklehead boy. Like, you're not going to be with him for the rest of your life. So don't you think that? So, you know, I just want to say for all my young subscribers out there, all my young followers, listen, save yourself, okay? Because these young nuts that are running around these days, it's just temporary. It's just temporary. It's very rare you see people that last from day 16 until day 40. Like, it's very rare. Like, I'm not saying that there's not good guys out there that is very responsible at 16 and would date you if they 18 or whatever, like, and not mess around. But girl, save yourself and you'll know when the time is right. You won't know when the time is right. You won't know who's the right one. But it's best for you to wait when you're older, because when you're young, you think you know, but you don't. You think you know, but you don't. But that is my story. That is my story about being a side chick, being cheated on, being crazy. Like, it's crazy. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope I wasn't boring. I hope you find my story entertaining. I hope it helped you out in some kind of way if you are 15 or you have a 15-year-old or you have a little baby growing up to, you know, like, guide her and let her know what's what. But yeah, that was my story. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.